Across the United States, millions of people travel every year to see breathtaking landscapes, historic sites, and iconic landmarks. But hidden behind the beauty and excitement are stories that were never taught in schools, never shown in brochures, and never spoken by tour guides. Deep beneath the surface, the country hides mysteries that stretch across centuries. Strange events, unexplained disappearances, secret experiments, and places that seem to rewrite the laws of nature. This is the America most people will never see. And tonight, you're about to enter it. Our journey begins in a quiet desert town in Nevada, far from the glowing lights of Las Vegas. At first glance, it looks abandoned. Rusted signs, broken windows, and a silence so heavy it feels unnatural. But the real mystery lies beneath it. Locals refuse to speak about the underground tunnels discovered accidentally in the 1980s. Workers reported hearing metallic footsteps echoing under their feet, even though the tunnels were sealed decades earlier. What's more unsettling is that the footsteps always stopped when someone tried to investigate. When the government ordered the entire area restricted overnight, the town's remaining residents moved away. But even today, people driving past claim they feel vibrations coming from underground, like something still moves below the sand. Hundreds of miles away, in the thick forests of Oregon, lies another secret, one that hikers whisper about but never try to find. There's a place known as the Shadow Path, a narrow trail that appears only during certain times of the year. Those who have accidentally stepped onto it describe the same chilling experience. The forest around them becomes unnaturally quiet, the air grows heavy, and their body feels pulled forward as if the path wants them to follow. One man who disappeared on the trail for 2 days said he walked through a fog that seemed alive, whispering his name. When he finally was found, he was miles away from the path, with no memory of how he got there. Scientists dismissed the story as hallucination. Yet even they couldn't explain why his compass was frozen in place and his watch had stopped the moment he entered the fog. Down in Louisiana, the swamps hide something far older. Beneath the muddy waters, divers once discovered perfectly carved stone pillars arranged in a circle, as if built by an ancient civilization. But when they returned for further exploration, the entire structure had mysteriously vanished. Some say the swamp swallowed it. Others claim it moved deeper into the water. Fishermen swear they still see strange lights hovering above the surface at night, shifting in patterns too precise to be natural. The more the government denied the existence of the pillars, the more locals believed that the swamp was hiding something humans were never meant to uncover. Our journey then takes us to an innocent-looking library in Massachusetts, one that appears perfectly ordinary during the day. But librarians know the truth. There's a locked room on the 3rd floor that no one is allowed to enter, not even staff. Late at night, when the last visitors leave, people have reported hearing the dusty shelves inside shifting, like books sliding across the floor. One janitor who worked there for 20 years claimed he heard soft whispering coming from behind the locked door. He quit the next morning and never returned. What's strange is that the library's original blueprints don't show a room there at all. Some believe it's a leftover relic from when the building served a different purpose centuries ago. A place where forbidden knowledge was stored, and perhaps still is. But maybe the most chilling secret lies in the Great Lakes region, where ships have disappeared for more than 100 years. People call it the American Triangle. Boats vanish without storms, without distress signals, and without leaving a single trace of debris. What's even stranger is that some of these ships have reappeared decades later, floating aimlessly with no one aboard. Their radios crackle with static, and their engines remain warm as if someone had just stepped away. Scientists blame unpredictable weather, but fishermen insist the lake takes what it wants and returns it only when it's done. In the Appalachian Mountains, there are towns where compasses spin wildly and birds refuse to fly overhead. Locals talk about the Silent Ridge, a stretch of mountain where sound disappears completely. No birds, no wind, not even footsteps make noise. Hikers who stood on the ridge say it feels as if the world around them pauses, and when they step off, sound suddenly rushes back like a wave. Some believe the ridge sits on an ancient fault line of energy, while others claim it's a doorway, one that leads somewhere humans are not meant to go. And finally, deep in the heart of the Midwest, There is a farmhouse that appears on old maps but doesn't exist when you try to visit. Travelers have reported driving down a long dirt road and seeing the house in the distance, its windows glowing with warm light. But when they reach the spot, nothing is there. No house, no road, not even tire tracks behind them. One couple insists they spent an entire night inside the farmhouse after their car broke down. They described old-fashioned furniture, a warm fire, and a woman who silently brought them blankets without ever speaking. But when morning came, they found themselves sleeping in their car on the side of the highway with no sign of the house or the woman. Their phones showed no calls, no photos, and no timestamps for the entire night, as if those hours never existed. As you travel across the United States, you'll see bright cities, peaceful forests, and breathtaking landscapes. But hidden behind them is a second America, one built on secrets, shadows, and mysteries that refuse to fade. These stories aren't on postcards or in travel guides, yet they linger in the places where history and the unknown collide. Some mysteries are explained, some are forgotten, and some keep growing every year, waiting for the next person curious enough to look deeper. And if you ever find yourself alone on a quiet road, a silent ridge, or a glowing lake, remember, the surface tells you only half the story. The rest is buried in the shadows, whispering to those brave enough to listen. If you want to see the new mysteries and stories, so don't forget to subscribe to the BioMystery Hub.